Hello captains and welcome to this X-Plane 10 video. I welcome you aboard this Boeing 767 flight to Manchester from Dublin. Today we're going to be flying Aer Lingus flight 210. We're going to be flying and maintaining a flight level of 240, and our approximate duration for this flight is just under 1 hour. I've been requested to do this video to show the Autoland capability of the 767, so we are going to do just that. So while the aircraft is being loaded, let's go ahead and jump into the flight deck and prepare the aircraft for departure. Okay, so first thing first, let's turn the battery on. Standby power to auto.
Sir, if I may say...
Bus ties can go on. APU generator goes on. And now we can start the APU. Now I've already loaded the fuel. I've discovered a bug in the fuel configurator. It appears that no matter what you put here, you always get the you get 15 in each tank. So I've sent a support request to the guys at Flight Factor Support, and hopefully we can get that fixed. Okay, so we're waiting for the APU to start. Okay, APU is now available. And now we can turn the ADIRS to nav mode. Now we can begin programming the FMC. Okay. Position initialization. We are at Echo, India, Delta, Whiskey, and the company route has already been programmed, so we put that there. Activate and execute. Departure. Today we are going to be departing runway 34, and let's check our SID, which is the Lift 5 Golf SID. What does it do? And we are going to be arriving into Manchester runway 23 right through the MERS 1 Bravo star. Okay, so that's the one, and it's ILS 23 right. Done, and execute. And let's check for any discontinuities in our plan, and yes, there is one. So let's clear that, and that's done. Good stuff. Let's check our plan. Okay, let's step through. Everything looks fine. And everything looks perfectly okay to me. So let's switch back to map. And Good stuff. So let's go ahead now and enter our performance data for this flight. Now, because of the error that we have in the fuel configurator, these values really never change. So 240, flight index is 50, takeoff, flaps 5, and the temperature is 4. Trim is 3.6. And these are our speeds today. Let's check our trim. 3.6. That's about... That's good enough. Okay. So the FMC is now programmed and pre-flight is complete. And let's go ahead and switch over there. And let's see.
Sir.
This guy is really bugging me. Okay, so we're done with the FMC. Our performance data is entered. Let's go ahead and find out what the altimeter is for Dublin. And the altimeter is 0990. So let's enter that here. 0990, and let's do the same here. Good stuff. Okay, let's continue with the cockpit preparation. Yaw damper can go on. And those can go on. And right here, everything, utility buses can go on. And that looks okay there. Emergency light is armed. Both engine selectors go to auto. And then the position lights can go on. Window heat, we can switch those on. Non-smoking signs can go on. Seatbelt sights can go on. This goes to auto. We're done here. Okay, cabin temperatures. Trim air. Fans. Packs. Isolation valves. APU bleed. Okay, all of that goes on. And now, let's get our flight data. Flight director, auto throttle can go on. And our final cruising altitude today is 240. So let's enter that here. That's done. LNAV, VNAV can go on. And let's get this ready for the engine start. So everything looks okay now. Alright. So let's continue with the before start. Fuel pumps can go on. Start with the right. Okay, everything looks good. And now we are ready for pushback and engine start. So before we do that, we need to close all the doors and dismiss the ground services. So let's first close the doors, and now we can dismiss ground services. Let me go right there, and let's remove the ground handling. Alright. Let's call the pushback truck. Where is the pushback truck? Oh, there he is. Okay, so let's lock that and let's remove the ground handling. So let's hide them. It's fine, and let's begin the pushback. And now we can basically start our engines. We'll start with the left engine first. Packs need to go off. Okay, that's good enough. Let's give it some fuel. Okay, it looks like the left engine has stabilized, so let's begin with the right engine now. Good stuff, and the pushback is now complete, so we can dismiss the pushback truck, and let's power up by giving it some fuel. Okay, right engine is starting now. We can dismiss the pushback truck. Okay, we have a good start on both engines now, so we can basically turn the packs back on. And left and right isolation valves can go off. The APU bleed can go off. And now we can turn off the APU, and the APU generator also can go off. So everything looks good now. Let's cancel those. And let's set this to, let's see, that's fine. Okay, we're ready to taxi now to runway 34. So let's go ahead and release the parking brake. Let's check our controls real quick. Full up, full down, full left, full right, it's fine. Rudder full left, rudder full right, that's fine. And now we can basically taxi to the runway. This goes to rejected takeoff and flaps 5. And we're good to go. Parking brake released. Okay, let's need the wipers. It's raining down here in Dublin, so okay, folks, so we are at runway 34. Let's get things ready here. The strobe lights can go on, landing lights can go on, and everything else is good for departure. Let's release the parking brake and let's get lined up. Okay, and we are now lined up with the center line of the runway, so let's do full power. Positive rate, gear up, flaps 1, and flaps 0. Okay, and we can now engage the autopilot. Let's turn this off. Okay, everything looks good. And we are now climbing to flight level 240. Welcome back, folks. We are very close to top of descent now. I have set the altitude to our final altitude of 3,000 feet. Let's go ahead and take care of a few things here for our departure. So we're going to be arriving runway 23 right, and we need to set the ILS frequency to 109.5, and the front course is 233 degrees. So let's do that. 109.5 and 233 degrees. Okay, it looks like we've started our descent. 233 degrees. There we go. So we've begun our descent now into Manchester. And basically we're going to continue to descent now until we reach 3,000. Let's set our speed brakes to 2. We are experiencing a little bit of turbulence, but nothing too serious at this point. Okay, so we will basically check back as we get closer to Manchester. Let me set this here to so we know the increased range of it to see where we are, and everything looks good for now. Okay, folks, so we are now getting pretty close to Manchester. So let's go ahead and turn the landing lights on, and we need to drop our rate of descent so that we can basically maintain our speed. I'm going to go ahead and reduce speed now to 209 knots. And my bad, the final altitude is 3,500 feet, not 3,000 as I previously stated. So we are good now, and we continue to descend at a acceptable rate. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and, arm the speed brakes. Okay, let's go ahead and check the altimeter at Manchester. And the altimeter is 994. I think we're pretty close now. The airport is right over there. Yes, so let's go ahead and reduce speed now to 190 and introduce flaps 1. Okay, and let's enter our transition altitude, which is 994, and we do the same thing here. All right, folks. So let's enter our final flaps and VREF for landing. We're going to do flaps 30, and our VREF is 129 knots. Okay, so that's done, and we're approximately 15 nautical miles from the airport. So I'm going to reduce speed now to 170 knots and introduce flaps 5. Okay, so I've switched now to heading select to intercept the localizer. And let's go ahead and engage the approach button now. And we're now pretty close, basically to the airport. Okay, everything looks okay. And let's go ahead and reduce speed to 160. And let's introduce flaps 10. I think that's the runway right there. And now we have intercepted the localizer.
Pull up.
Okay, and now let's select gear down.
Pull up. Pull up.
And as this needle here centers with this line, you will notice that the aircraft will begin the automatic descent into Manchester, and which is the glide slope. Basically, the glide slope would activate at this point. There you go. As you can see now, the plane begun the descent into Manchester. And what we're going to do now is, let me just, I think I forgot what our final speed, the VREF is 128 knots. Okay. Alright, we are at flaps 10, so let's do flaps 20 now. And now let's engage all 3 buttons for Autoland. Okay, and we keep continuing our approach into the runway. Everything looks good. And we need to basically now do flaps 25. So let's extend flaps. And as you can see now, Autoland has engaged, land 3, and it's now basically taken over. So let's reduce speed to 133. And we don't really have to do anything at this point other than watch the plane land itself. Let's reduce speed to our final approach speed of 128. And let's do flaps 30.
500. Minimums. $100. 50. 40, 30, 20, 10,
reverse idle and reverse green. Thrust idle, that is. And welcome to Manchester. Okay, folks, so we've landed safely into Manchester, and I really wanted to show you the Autoland feature, which basically allows you to completely land the plane automatically using the autopilot. And I've received a lot of requests to basically do this with a full landing. So there you have it, the full landing, and I'm going to give you a replay of the landing basically in just a second. Let's taxi out of the runway and let's take a look at how the plane landed itself using the Autoland feature. Okay folks, I hope that you've enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. If you have any requests for a video, please do include it in the comment section below. Bye bye for now.